Hello, chat friends. Can you hear me? Hello. I guess I should turn this music down so you guys can hear me. What's up, friends? I was trying to figure out how to also stream to my Patreon, but I am struggling right now to get that set up. So in the future, if I do this again, I will very much try to do the Patreon, but I cannot figure it out right now. So I've got like 35 or 40 minutes before I have to leave and go do some other stuff, but I figured I was here now. We could hang out for a few minutes. We could chat, we can ask questions, whatever you guys would like to do. We are currently live just on YouTube and Facebook. There's obviously been lots of things going on here recently, so there's no lack of topics to talk about. Joseph wants to know why the live feed. Why not? Is my response. I've kind of changed my setup here around a little bit. And so the camera used to be like up a lot higher, but I moved my monitors. And so I've been kind of wanting to just do a live just to see what it looks like with the camera in a different spot. So yeah, so no particular reason for the live, just felt like doing it. We haven't done one in a very long time. I think it's been like 8 months or something since we did one. But yeah. So feel free to drop questions in, comments. Like I said, I'll probably be live here till 2 or 2:05 or 2:10 Eastern time. So yeah. Let's see what you guys have for questions. Why is Tyler Erb the way he is? I don't know. You will have to ask Tyler. Great question, though. Any news on teams may be interested in buying a charter? No. I think from the way it sounds, the charter buying stuff is pretty much done, or I guess we're supposed to call them franchises. They're high limit franchises, not high limit charters. CJB and Crouch, I believe, effectively announced today that they are back on high limit. So they were the only other real team that was going to get one that would probably have one available. I don't know that anybody else is going to be selling one outside of the Myers 14 when that deal's already done. Any idea who's going to show up at Atomic this weekend? Yes, we talked about this a little bit on the Daily Show last night. There could be some names there. The last time I kind of talked to people around that event, there was a lot of maybes. But I did hear Skylar G, Danny Sams, McCarl, I think were some that were definitely going to show. And there were lots of other potential maybes. Especially that could be an option, I think, for some of the outlaw high limit teams that were maybe going to run this weekend with that deal rained out. Is there a world where Ricky and JD go from Lucas Oil to the World of Outlaws for the 2026 season? I mean, anything is possible. I don't know that I would predict that. I don't know why they would make that change. You know, the money right now is a little bit better with Lucas, so I don't see that changing. Yes, I talked about this on the Wednesday show, I think, about McIntosh. Potentially some rumors around Coltman Farms. Go check that out for all the full details on that. What's going on with Gio? I have talked about Gio so many times on the show. He's going to be in the CMR Spire car. I've said that like 10,000 times. I'm always surprised when it's something I've talked about multiple times and I still see questions. But yes, Gio is going to the CMR Spire car. Eric Prutzman is crew chief. I have no idea when we're going to get the announcement, but that's happening. Why would Macri get off the porch, I think, is the question. And to be fair, it's not like Macri runs Pennsylvania every single week. Like, he travels more than most people. So to say that Macri doesn't get off the porch is kind of not fair. But like, he's capable of winning basically any night out. I don't know why he needs to go out and do more than he's doing. Or why he needs to go run a tour. Like, it's the question of, like, if you're gonna be pick and choose, you better be able to win, right? Because if you're not going to go on a tour, you give up all of that added money that you can get by being full-time on a tour. But as long as you win, it's okay. And Macri wins. So I don't know that I see a near future where Macri is full-time on a tour. So the merch thing is something I've been asked about like a lot. And I have played and toyed with the idea of doing a new merch drop. It's so much work. It's one of the things that I find kind of fascinating about like the economics of dirt racing, especially like around the drivers, is like, it is a pain in the ass to do merch, like just full stop. Like, it costs a lot of money to do it. It's like really, really satisfying to like pack and ship orders, but like it takes a lot of work and there's just like not a lot of benefit or return. I've spent a lot of money on merch and I haven't made that much money on merch. And so like, if I'm going to spend time working on DIRTRACKR things, my thought here lately has been like, focus on the content, right? Keep the main thing the main thing. It doesn't mean that there will never be merch again. It's something I've been thinking about a lot here kind of towards the end of the year, but I don't know is the answer here. Do you think there will be any surprise or new surprise outlaw or high limit rookies next year? I mean, what do you think about, like, what is the definition of surprise, right? Like, there will be some new teams that I've heard, and we've talked about some of them on the show. I don't know how do you define what is a surprise? Like I just said, I don't think Macri is going to go. Like, do I think that, I don't even know what a name or a team would be that would surprise me if they made a jump to a tour. So I don't know, but like Landon Crawley's been talked about. If Boguski could put something together, I've heard that as a potential. The Emerson Axum stuff. Like, there are definitely some options out there for guys who could jump. I don't think this is as big of a deal as it's been talked about elsewhere. I think a little bit there may be just some crown jewel kind of fatigue about the Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora. It was still probably a pretty good crowd. I have a hard time believing they didn't make money on that event. So I don't know that I would super be concerned about this one. I don't know if Marlar plans to jump to a tour full-time next year. He does have a new ride. He's back in the Delk car. That's been happening for a while. This one is strange. So I talked about this one a little bit this week about Joseph Joyner and kind of Hunt the Front to JCM. Like, there were lots of kind of rumblings about this several weeks ago. They've obviously continued to run the rest of the season with that team, but I don't know if this is still going to be a thing or not. Like, a lot of people were asking me this week about the hauler thing, which I did address on the Daily Show. I have reached out to Hunt the Front to ask about this specifically. I have not gotten a response. So I don't know where this is right now, but if it's not Joyner, I guess Dalton Wilson could be a potential. Maybe this is a Donald McIntosh landing spot if it's not Joyner, but I don't know about this one right now. I don't see this happening at all. That the World of Outlaws and High Limit combine as one over the next few years. This just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, there have been rumblings from time to time that WRG would be, could potentially be bought. But like, I don't know why Flow would need to buy it, to be honest with you. I think they're like in a really good position with what they have and some of the rumors about the Lucas stuff and all of that. I don't know that I think this is any sort of realistic possibility. You're giving me way too much credit here. A sneak peek of off-season DIRTRACKR content plans. Like, there are days where I wake up in the morning and I don't know what I'm going to talk about on the show. So I definitely don't have any super specific plans for the off-season. We'll just play it by ear like we normally do. Arico's running High Limit. Full stop. Can we get over this like outlaw thing? The true, like, the World of Outlaws was built on this thing, and like all like, it just, this kills me. Like, the Outlaws used to be run what you brung. It hasn't been run what you brung for, I don't know, 30 years. Like, why are we still talking about this? The Outlaws limit their drivers because of long-standing things that happened before. They're not going to change the policy. The only people who care about this are the fans. I promise you the teams and the drivers don't care about this at all. If this was such a problem, they would just switch to High Limit. That's it. Like, this is not that big of a deal. I have been sent this question multiple times in the last 24 hours. I don't know why we continue to be surprised by these situations. And at a certain point, if you're not going to get paid when you show up to specific events, my sympathy starts to run out for you. I said that to somebody in a message today, right? Like, I appreciate that Barry has tried so hard to make all of these things happen through the years, and he wants to pay big money and all of these things. But like, clearly he's out over his skis. But like, if you're going to continue showing up to events for a guy who has struggled to make payments over the years, at a certain point, I don't know like what you think is going to happen. So like, do I think this is worth addressing on the show? No, not really. This is probably not something you're going to see me talk about on the Daily Show, because we've talked about this so many times before. Like, this is not a new thing. It's happened multiple times. It keeps happening. At a certain point, like, Barry and XR aren't the problem anymore. It's the people that show up that continue to support these events. And I'm sorry if that's like harsh, but that's just how I feel. What is my gut on Schatz for next year? My gut is that he races and has a full-time outlaw deal. Obviously, I talked about what the possibilities were. I don't think he's retiring. I don't see Donny doing that yet. I know he struggled here lately. I talked about that a little bit on the show about some of the equipment issues that they're having. So I think he's going to race. I don't have anything super solid here. I've heard a couple of young driver names kind of bandied about for the Boot 13. I would assume that they will stay younger. And, you know, there's a few guys I think I could see in this ride, but I don't know that I have anything super like solid for this. What else? We've talked about this before on the Daily Show. This just isn't going to happen. I've actually spoken to Rick Schwally about this, the Lucas Series director. This is a very, very difficult proposition for teams who are mostly based on, you know, this side of the country. There are truck and trailer issues. There are a lot of problems that I just don't know that it makes a lot of sense for them to try to solve for this to ever really be seriously considered. Any other opportunities for you to partner on content with a driver team on shop videos or track videos? I mean, it's possible. The stuff that I've done in the past, I've been approached by those parties to do those things. What I will say is I loved the Zach Hampton stuff. watching him build that car and doing all of that. My problem with that is it's a lot of work to edit those videos. Like it took him, I think 14 or 15 hours of like captured footage to build that car. And I had at least 2 or 3 times that in editing those videos. And it's just really, really difficult. And like right now, I definitely don't have the time to edit that video. If there was a situation where somebody wanted to shoot the videos and edit the videos, and then I could just distribute them, maybe I would consider that. But yeah, nothing on the near horizon. Zeb was just on Jeremy Elliott's show not long ago. Like I think Zeb is kind of, if it's not like a really, really top tier car, Zeb is probably good. I think this idea that like nobody wants to hire Zeb, I don't know that Zeb really is looking for any sprint car ride, which he kind of said himself a little bit, but I don't know that I would expect Zeb in a car soon. They are racing super late models, sprint cars at Atomic this weekend. 2-day show. Night the Stars came out. Ironman late models. I think the sprint car stuff might just be unsanctioned. But yeah, tonight and tomorrow at Atomic, big stuff. You'll have like some decent names there. I haven't heard of any. I haven't caught rumblings of any big switches from anybody. Like this, I feel like it's a little bit early. Like I know we've talked about Troutman staying Outlaws. We know Garrett Alberson is staying Lucas. But I think a lot of this stuff we won't find out until kind of speed weeks if we're gonna have swaps back and forth. But I don't know. I don't know right now of any big changes. I think the biggest thing that helped Baston's case was the races out west. So Baston is such a strange case to me. I don't know what to make of him as a driver. Like, nice guy, presents well, has won races before, but the last couple of years have been really puzzling for his career. And I think he was just as close to being done racing a sprint car as he was to being back on a tour this year, which is weird to say. My phone is ringing. Hang on. I don't have favorites of anything. I like sprint cars. I like late models. I watch modified stuff, midgets, non-wing. I don't have a favorite driver. I don't have a favorite team. Like when you are around the sport, when you work in the sport, it's really tough to say you have favorites. Schatz will be in the same car to the end of the season. Yeah, this won't change. He'll still be in the sides JV ideal. I definitely think we'll see some more cooperation on the West Coast. So things like this won't happen, where you've got guys staying away from big events because other things are scheduled on top. I think that was a big thing. That was a problem this year, and I think it was honestly a big reason why they wanted to get control of it, so that there's just more cooperation out there. This is not going to happen. It's called DIRTRACKR, not PaveTracker. So I mean, I appreciate that there are sprint cars, but yeah, we're not going to talk about pave stuff here. This is a new one. I have not heard this one. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he wanted to get more involved in other stuff. I mean, he's going to have a lot of things on his plate already between Silver Dollar and NARC and High Limit, but I guess it wouldn't put it past me. Why has the daily moved to a nightly time slot? My days have changed. I have other stuff going on during the days now. So I've kind of, it used to be like do daily stuff early in the day and then have time in the day for my other activities. But now I've flipped it. I have stuff I have to do early in the day. And so now the daily has shifted to the night. So that's why. Well, we have photographer on photographer violence happening in the chat right now. Wow, guys. Do you mean like micros? I'm probably not going to cover micros. The problem, this is always the problem, right? It's like, how come you don't cover more modifieds? How come you don't cover this region? How come you don't cover this, that, whatever? If you guys would tune in when I covered those things and you could bring a lot of friends with you, then I would cover those things. But at the end of the day, like, you guys decide what is covered here by what you tune in to watch. And over the course of nearly 1,500 daily shows that I've done at this point since 2020, I've tried everything. I've talked about everything. So yes, there are reasons why I don't cover all of that stuff, because if I do, there's not a big enough audience to care about those things. Like, I will talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about, but you vote by which shows and which thumbnails you click on and which things that you are interested in. Yeah, I haven't been to a dirt race since maybe Golden Isles last year when I went down for the high limit Lucas stuff. There's obviously not a great, huge dirt racing scene right around near me. And weekends are packed with chasing my son around to his baseball games and sports things and theater things and all of the stuff he has going on, which is like really my focus. I traveled to races for almost 20 years. I did, the entire NASCAR schedule for so long. I don't know why, this always seems like it's like people like to take shots at me for this because I'm not at the dirt track every weekend. And I don't know why that's a problem. Like, I talk about things and know things that most people don't know, and I never go to the racetrack. So I could still do my show very successfully without it. When I have opportunities to go, I will be there when I can, but I'm also not going to sacrifice family time, which I did sacrifice for a very long time, to go to the racetrack. Sheldon is going to KCP. This is something we've talked about a bunch as well. I don't see Donny starting his own team. I don't. He's got 2 sprint cars that run out of his shop. There's late models that run out of his shop for his nieces. I don't see this happening. I don't believe Brad actually owns Silver Dollar. I think Silver Dollar is technically a fairgrounds track, but they are the promoting group. It's Brad, Kyle, and Kobe Copeland. There is a dirt track near me. It is the dirt track at Charlotte. It's 4 miles from my house. I could actually hear the testing going on the last couple of nights from my backyard. There's like a couple of rumors about some outlaw teams potentially making the flip. The 41 has been talked about. The 1S has been talked about. I think the big thing there is they're waiting on what exactly the outlaw package is for next year. We don't know if they're going to, bump things up, if they're going to stay status quo. I think a lot of teams are kind of waiting on that. I have a hard time believing the 1S and the 41 flip. If anyone flips, I think it would make more sense to me if some of the lower level high limit teams that don't have franchises flip to the outlaws, because without knowing what those payouts are going to be for the teams that don't have franchises, it may be more beneficial to them to flip over. But I mean, we'll see. And I honestly think like the Outlaws will put their numbers out, and then Brad and Kyle and Flo can make adjustments to their non-franchise teams to stay competitive. So I don't know that I see like a ton of flipping back and forth this year. This is, yeah, we'll do this. Backyard pedal tricycle dirt road course racing, please. Will I be at the Dirt Track World Championship this year? The Dirt Track World Championship already happened. I can't be at a race that already happened. As we've discussed, word on the streets, Days and Pursley. My feeling here is Sheldon and KCP stay Outlaws. This is another one that could possibly flip, maybe, but if I was a betting man, then yeah, I would think they stay Outlaws. This is also a great point. There are lots of other shows, and I would love for you guys to go, consume other stuff. Like I saw Chase Rodman was here in the chat. I don't know if he still is, but he was momentarily. Like, go watch Chase's videos. Go watch Jeremy's stuff. There's lots of great podcasts. I mentioned the Hoagie's Garage guys yesterday. There's a podcast page at DIRTRACKR.com that you can go find stuff. They're like more and more kind of channels. There's like an Australian guy who's doing Sprint Car Daily stuff, and I apologize that I don't remember offhand what his channel name is, but like, go consume that other stuff. Like, go check out some of those other shows, because there's lots of people doing things. The Knoxville Nights guys, the Always Race Day guys. Like, there's tons of stuff going on. Definitely go check out some of that other content. There are lots of tire things going on right now. I know I talked about on the show that there was a tire test at Kokomo. And I heard that, Brad Sweet, Rico Abreu were maybe there. There's some other stuff happening as well. I'm trying to get clarity on some of that stuff, but the tire thing is very fluid right now. This is like one of the craziest things just generally to me about and it happens to both Hunt the Front and to guys like Tanner Holmes, where it's like, it's seen as a bad thing that they have a social media following. It's like people get mad about funded drivers, right? It's like, we don't like that you use your parents' money to buy a midget or buy a sprint car ride. And it's like, we want it to be earned. It's like, okay, well, but like, that's not like how it works anymore, or really has ever worked. Like, there has to be backing. And like, so the Hunt the Front guys used their social media to build themselves into a team that's capable of competing and running races all across the country, right? But it's like they're trying to feed families and run a business, and I don't know why that's a bad thing. They built something from zero all the way up, and they're like, they have all of these people who are mad at them for that. Like, I don't know why that's a bad thing. And like, they've won races. Tanner Holmes has won races. This whole thing makes no sense to me. And I deal with this with my own content as well. If you don't like what I do, it's okay to not show up here. I don't want you to consume the content if you don't like it. There's lots of other places you can go to find this stuff. It's okay. You don't have to come here. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It's really fine. Billy wants to know, will the All-Stars expand the schedule in 2026? I haven't heard anything specifically about what the plans are for Rich and the All-Stars for next year. I would imagine that they will continue to try and kind of chew up more ground. Especially if there's going to be more kind of power eye, competition stuff with fast and all of that. I would imagine he'll want to try to establish as much as he can there. So it wouldn't shock me. This is always, a thing. I worked for the Outlaws from 2013 to 2020, and everybody is always mad whenever there's weather, no matter what happens, right? So if you cancel early and then it doesn't rain, you're in trouble. If you wait and then you cancel late and everybody shows up, you're in trouble. There's no winning when there's weather, like full stop. Like everybody loses when there is weather in the forecast. And like if they wait to try to wait it out and then people don't show up because the forecast is poor, then they take a bath on it. So like I understand that it sucks that they canceled these races, but like what other choice do they have? Like there is no way to win no matter what you do in these situations. I don't know that there's any way to answer this right now. I feel like the franchise thing is something we're just gonna kind of have to wait and see how it plays out. It could be good, it could not be good. I don't know. I don't know how you begin to measure that, especially at this point. I have not seen this, that Corey Day was jumping into a KKR car. If somebody has a link to this, feel free to share that with me. I didn't know this. Ross wants to know what the status on the Ford engine is. I've heard some things that the Ford engine is going to continue. I've heard a few things, other teams potentially interested in using it. So I don't think this program is dead here just yet. I don't know what Tanner's plans are for 2021. I've seen a couple of questions in the chat about his plans. Nothing's been announced. I don't know what. I know Tanner has looked around, has had conversations with other teams. I don't know what he is going to do at the moment. So yeah, I think we're kind of wait and see right now on Tanner, and obviously if he doesn't return, that would mean Tarleton as well. I believe the streaming for Atomic is Flow. It should be on the streaming schedule at dirttracker.com/watch the night. This stuff, like always, just is hilarious to me. You can't have it both ways, right? Like you can't want people to help you promote, but then also get mad when they say negative things. So yeah, it's like the same thing about like I saw I can't remember who it was. Somebody here in recent days talked about like not being able to post onboard videos that they recorded at Paris. This is like the Lernerville thing where they posted all those signs on the front straightaway that you're not allowed to video. Yeah, like this stuff always is just hilarious to me. Like, just who cares? Like, if you don't want people to say bad things about your racetrack, then manage your racetrack better. This is definitely something I know I just said not long ago that I don't right now have any off-season content plans, but this is definitely something I have talked about with, not talked about, thought about, talked about with myself. I do have a couple of things that I would love to go deep dive. There's some like Bloomquist stuff that's like interesting. And I had a couple of conversations here recently with some other stuff. There's like, I love to like resurface some of that old stuff because it's like people forget about some of that crazy stuff that happened back then. Okay, well, here you go. Ross says the All-Star schedule will be very similar to what it was this year. So, and Ross would know because Ross is tied in. Ryan Timms will be back with Shane Liebig next year. Very similar schedule. Pick and choose. I haven't dug too deeply into the schedule stuff. There's been a bunch of comments in here about the schedule stuff. I haven't dug too deeply. I don't like, is the schedule stuff like really, I don't know. I feel like the driver stuff is like really kind of cool and moves the needle, but like, is the schedule stuff, is that really, I don't know. I've done more schedule stuff in the past, and this year I haven't really done much. And it doesn't seem like there's been a hole on the show. I mean, the schedules change every year, so I'm sure there will be something different, but what exactly that is, I don't know. Yeah, it's not the 18D anymore, it's the 11. But he's running this weekend at Atomic. If you have questions, I have, like, probably 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, so pop those in now, before I have to, because I have to hop off and go do some dad stuff. So if you have questions, get them in now. I don't see Schatz going to the 69K. That was actually a rumor earlier this year that Schatz was gonna go to the 69K. I've not heard anything about Hudson O'Neal's team. Can you really say he struggled, though? I mean, he was in the playoffs, he won some races, they were much better, with Durham as crew chief. I don't know that I would characterize this as a struggling season. Oh, here we go. You're on here making money off of our hobby, and you don't even put in the effort to go watch. Actually, I do. I pay for Flow, I pay for Dirt Vision. Anytime I do go to the racetrack, I pay for pit passes, I don't use media credentials. All of the merch that I have sold over the years has come from racing companies, photographers that you can see in the chat right now, Jack Reitz, Brendan Bauman, all of these guys. I buy photos from all of them. I've sponsored people, I've sponsored events. So this take right here is completely laughable. And the money that I make off of the sport is actually not from the sport. I make YouTube AdSense money. I make Facebook money. I have a corporate sponsor. None of that stuff is coming from the actual industry. Like, there are industry people who sponsor my show from time to time, but I'm trying to help them, um, you know, broaden their audiences. So this is like as bad of a take as it gets. I will definitely be checking this one out. I was actually at the dirt track last year for the test when he was there with Bernie. So yeah, super stoked to see him branch out more. Billy, nobody makes as much money off of YouTube as you do. Is this official? This is happening right now? Hold please. Bang. The 9 car, Napa Auto Parts, Days in Pursley. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about. Almost. Almost, almost. Oh, breaking news on the stream. Days in Pursley confirmed. Casey Kane Racing. But if you watch The Daily Show, you already knew that because we've talked about that. I would love, like, I just wanna come to Australia just generally. That's, like, one of the places on the planet I would love to visit, and I've had a couple of people, like, reach out to kind of invite me. I would like to do this at some point. I don't know when or if that would happen, but I would love to. And I pitted, like, Cup car for Marcus Ambrose back in the day. Like, I know, great people. We had some guys that worked on supercar teams one year that came over, and we hung out with them, like, at the Coke 600, but, like, super, super awesome people. They do not. The dirt track at Charlotte is, like, special events only. There's monster trucks over there, but most of the time that track pretty much sits quiet. This tracks. This absolutely tracks. They said in the announcement they wanted to do it while you were alive. This absolutely tracks. All right, last call for questions. I'll give you guys 5 more minutes, then I have to leave. So last call. Yeah, all of the, like, SMI related dirt tracks are all very similar. And honestly, like, if High Limit hadn't decided to go to Texas Motor Speedway, I don't know that a whole lot would be happening there, even there. The hat I'm wearing is not available. Even when we did do merch, I would do, like, 1 run of something, and then that was it. So you had, like, 1 chance to get it, that's it. And any merch in the future would be that as well. How oops, wrong one. I clicked on the wrong one, they're moving too fast. How long does it take to prep your 8 to 10-minute show? A long time, too long. I'm, like, at this point, 4 or 5 hours a day just to get the daily done, for whatever 8 to 10 minutes it is. I write a full show script, which is what you can find at dirtracker.com/daily. I'm doing all of that research. There's, like, constant messaging and things going on. I have to put together all the show graphics. I'm doing, the normal version plus the ad-free version. There's 2 different YouTube channels. There's Facebook, there's Spotify, there's the podcast. It's a lot. So, yes, it does take me a significant amount of time. It's not just like, "Hey, I roll in, sit down for 5 minutes, talk, and then it's over." It's a significant amount of work. There's been lots of rumors that, like, Lincoln is going away from Flow. I heard at one point that maybe they were talking about starting their own streaming service. I think this is all very much up in the air. Obviously, appreciate all of these messages. It's funny when you get comments from people on your videos or in the chat, right? Like, the all of the positive stuff is, like, really, really appreciated. And, like, I don't expect everybody to agree with everything I say all the time. Like, it's totally cool to disagree with what I say. Um, but, like, I also am okay, like, sparring, and I think some people, like, they take that wrong. But, like, I do appreciate all of the positive messages. There was a comment on my show yesterday about a guy and his dad who watched my show and would talk about racing all the time, and apparently the dad went to Eldora for the Dirt Track World Championship, ended up dying, and he was in my comments yesterday, and I was like, I felt so bad, but I was, like, so happy that they were able to, like, connect over my show and racing and, like, that I played, like, a small part in that. So insane. I have no idea what next races are. Maybe World Finals. I know that doesn't really answer your question, but, I don't know. Early goals for the channel in 2026. I never have any goals for the channel. I haven't like I get asked this question, like, where do you see the channel, like, 5 years, 10 years? I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And like if you would have asked me 5 years ago if I thought I would be here now, I would have told you you were crazy. I just show up every day, like to talk about racing. I love the community. I love the action, and I don't know. Like, we're just gonna keep showing up every day, talking about racing for as long as that works, and then we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on Sheldon to KCP? Do you think it'll be a good fit? I don't know that I see it being anything massively different than the 17, especially since he's going there with Ripper. The only thing that I would wonder about is like if for some reason there was like some equipment change that they wanted to do at Stenhouse Marshall that they weren't able to do, that maybe now they could do. I don't know that I see there being massive difference there in terms of performance. I don't know that he will suddenly be unlocked at a different team. I don't know. The helmet and the goggles in the background. This, what you see right here, this is one of my old pit helmets. For the people that are here that don't know, I was a tire changer in NASCAR for 16 years. This right there, that hat that you can see right there, that's the Truck Series Championship from 2020. I was on Sheldon Creed's truck. This is the championship ring for that. But I've put this on the stream before. I'm not going to do that today, but I was on Casey Mears' car at Germain. This was my pit helmet. This is where I would put my helmet light, and then this is like where my helmet cam would pop on. I have other helmets as well. There's other stuff hung up in my office here. All right, fam. It is 2:10. I have to roll. Thank you for everybody for popping in. I've noticed there's like 300 or 400 people on the stream. That's pretty wild. So thank you for that. DIRTRACKR.com. Like and subscribe wherever you get podcasts, Facebook, YouTube. You could check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/DIRTRACKR. We're on Facebook, X, if you want to call it that, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, the Daily Show will be here on Sunday, back to regularly scheduled progress. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. And we will catch you guys in the next one. So bye.